Good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for June the 10th. Today we are reading together the 70th Psalm. Psalm number 70 is entitled A Call for Deliverance. The superscription said this is for the choir director of David to bring remembrance, or other translations say for a memorial. I believe this is a psalm of lament, and it begins a collection, someone organizes, or some would say organizes a three psalm stack to finish up this second book of the Psalter. Uh, and they kind of build on each other. Psalm 70 is the idea of save me, and bringing a quick resolution to that plea for salvation. Psalm 71, a joyful prayer of a resilient saint who, again, recognizes his need for salvation from God and expresses joy for God's deliverance. And then finally, Psalm 72 is Solomon's prophetic vision of the future Messiah, the great King of Israel. And that brings a conclusion to book number 2 of the Psalter, which included Psalms, I believe it's 40 through 72. This psalm that we're going to read today is a short psalm, so nothing too in depth today, but it's also a repeat of basically the same material that we see back in Psalm number 40 and verses 13 through 70. Actually, I think that's the end of book number 1. Now I need to check. I've got myself confused. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, excuse me, Psalm 42 is the beginning of book number 2. So book number 1 goes Psalms 1 through 41. So again, this portion, these words of David are right there at the end of the first book, and they are right here at towards the end of the second book as well. So let's read along together here. Psalm number 70 today. Let me get the text up on the screen here. Hope that everybody enjoyed a wonderful Lord's Day together yesterday. Certainly missed everybody. But thanks for tuning in today for our reading here in the Psalter. Psalm number 70. Again, a call for deliverance for the choir director of David to bring remembrance, or for a memorial. Many associate this psalm and its content possibly with the memorial meal that would be offered with the memorial offering that would be offered with the grain offering, one of Israel's many offerings under the law of Moses. So maybe that's the occasion for which this prayer might be offered. Let's read together here. Psalm 70 and verse number 1. God, hurry to rescue me. Yahweh, hurry to help me. Let those who seek to kill me be disgraced and confounded. Let those who wish me harm be turned back and humiliated. Let those who say, Aha, retreat because of their shame. Let all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let those who love your salvation continually say, God is great. I am oppressed and needy. Hurry to me, God. You are my help and my deliverer. Yahweh, do not delay. Just 5 short verses here in Psalm number 70, and yet there is a great deal of encouragement that we find here within this psalm. Hopefully you saw within this psalm the inclusio of the first verse and last verse being very, very similar in their content. The first thing we'll see is this is a request for God to rescue and help, and we see at the end of verse number 5 that David affirms that Yahweh is his help and deliver, which I would equate with being a rescuer of Yahweh, or a rescuer of David. And then we have the language hurry in verse number 5, as well as do not delay, which goes together with verse number 1. Hurry to rescue me, hurry to help me. There is a great deal of urgency here within this psalm, great deal of urgency. And again, we don't know if there is a specific occasion for which this psalm historical occasion for which the psalm might be associated. And again, to bring remembrance might be associated with some sacrifice of some sort. And one person made the observation that when is a follower of God never in need of God's rescuing and help? In fact, this is something that seems to always be necessary for us. When are we ever self-sufficient on our own without the need for God? And of course, the answer would be, well, never. We always always need the help of God. So certainly this is a psalm that is applicable for each of us in every chapter of our lives. Verse number 2 and verse number 3 talks about the those who are seeking to harm David, those who find delight in David's demise. Oh, I like that. That's some good alliteration there. Delight in David's demise. Might have to write that one down. Verse number 2, let those who seek to kill me. Verse number 2 again, let those who wish to harm me. Verse number 3, let those who say, aha. What is the aha, aha? I think that's the idea of we've got him now. He has no chance. He is trapped. His, again, demise is very much imminent. The killing, the harming, the ridicule, and the shame. But what does David request? David requests that they be disgraced and confounded, that they be turned back and humiliated, that they retreat because of their shame. What David is calling for here is something that God has shown to be very, very capable of. And in fact, it's something that we've seen even just recently in last week's reading, the transition from Psalm 69 and verse 21 to Psalm 69 and verses 22 through 28 is a great reversal, where those who have been David's enemies and those who have sought David's demise again, that David requests through an imprecatory request that they be the ones who suffer demise, that they are the ones who meet their ends, that they are the ones that suffer. That is what we see David doing here, calling for God to do what God is good at, seeking a great reversal. But what we also see here is a contrast between these individuals and David himself, and all who seek to follow the conduct and character of David. Verses 2 and 3, they are seeking to harm David. But here, verse number 4, David is seeking to rejoice in God. One is seeking to harm, one is seeking to rejoice. Let all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let those who love your salvation, and that's an appropriate thing to mention because salvation is deliverance from these attacks. Let those who love your salvation continually say, God is great, and he can reverse a situation very easily. He has the power to do that. Now, why would David need salvation? Why would David need to seek God for rejoicing and gladness? Well, because he says the situation is I'm very oppressed and needy. He's very low. He's totally dependent on God. So therefore, hurry to me, God. Urgency here. Great urgency. Hurry to me, God. You are my help and my deliverer. Yahweh, do not delay. You are my help and my deliverer. Yahweh, do not delay. Back to verse 1. God, hurry to rescue me. Or might say, hurry to deliver me. Yahweh, hurry to help me. Here, verse number 5. You are my help. You are my deliverer. Yahweh, do not delay. Again, sense of urgency here from David, recognizing that the only relief that he can experience is from the hand of Yahweh himself. So hurry, Yahweh. Hurry to help me. Hurry to save me. Hurry to rescue and deliver me. Again, I am oppressed, I am needy. And certainly that reminds me of what Jesus said in the opening to the great Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven will be theirs. Blessed are those who recognize that they are oppressed and needy. Blessed are those who recognize their lowliness and their total dependence upon God. And in doing so, God will see that humility. God will see that dependence, and we'll be able to rejoice and be glad in his wonderful salvation. If you have any questions or comments about this short psalm here, Psalm number 70, please feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And I appreciate you take some time to read along with me. Today, we'll be back at it again on Wednesday, reading Psalm 71, God's help in old age. God's help in old age. There's no superscription to that psalm, but still a great psalm that many people they associate this with a saint who has gone through great things, who is resilient, again, dependence upon God, which has been a great theme of this psalm, of this section, this book of the Psalms. Psalm 2, again, Psalm 42 through 72. I failed to mention this, I apologize, but the theme of save me, of crying out to God for deliverance, has been all throughout this psalm. And certainly we're going to see that as we close out in these last three Psalms. Again, thanks for reading along today here in Psalm 70. We'll be back at it again on Wednesday, Psalm 71. Hope to see you then. Take care and God bless.